What do you think makes a good company culture?
A good company culture, 100% communication.
Transparency.
When it's a lead by example, top down.
Integrity from the top.
Enabling and consistent.
I think it's about putting the company first before yourself and your own personal needs.
It's the people. The people that makes a good company culture. The camaraderie that's behind all the people together, encouraging one another when you're not doing so well.
But you can have people
bring it up.
that actually negatively affect your culture.
100%, but you have to move outside of that.
What's up guys? If you're new to my YouTube channel, my name is Craig Yeats and welcome. We chat all about entrepreneurship, sales, being a business owner and what you need to do to be successful in your life and growing your business. Right now we are here at an old venue where we had a guest on Coffee with Craig. We have previously been here where we spoke to Murray Clark, a property developer here in Cape Town who has created this business called Neighborhood. And I thought this is the #1 place where we need to come and host this video where we talk about company culture, because if you are an entrepreneur, a leader, a sales manager, company culture is vitally important and you need to learn about it. So let's talk about it in this video here at Neighborhood. And hey, what I've seen recently is there's a lot of you that are watching and getting great value from this, which is awesome, but not everyone's subscribed. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so you know when my next video drops, because we have some amazing guests on Coffee with Craig that's all there just to help you learn and grow. So let's go inside, let's have a look around and let's learn what you need to do to build a high performance company culture. So homely here, but you know, sometimes you weren't meant to turn around just yet. We're talking about company culture, and I think it's only appropriate that we have back the first guest on Coffee with Craig where we were outside vlogging, and that's Jack Tonneson, who is an entrepreneur and a business owner. So we're going to chat a little bit about company culture. For me, the most interesting thing is in companies, you can copy services, you can copy products. The one thing you can't copy is culture, because culture is very much like the personality of the business. And now with the use of YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you're starting to see inside businesses more than before when it was closed and only a certain select amount of people actually knew about it. So Jackers, I mean, what is your take on company culture?
Craig, I used to work for the best company in South Africa, as voted for.
In Richard High.
Maybe you were second best. No. Used to work for the best company in South Africa, and then 3 years later they admitted that they'd lost their people culture. So I kind of experienced the best of both worlds. Best company to work for, and when they didn't even win anything.
Changed.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's interesting how it changed. That company culture can change, firstly.
Yeah.
So for me, there's like 5 points that I want to cover throughout this video. So we can chat maybe through those 5 points. And the first one is the leader of the business needs to be in charge. His main purpose or her main purpose needs to be creating that culture and not allowing the business to actually shift and change the culture. So it's about creating a culture and almost being able to communicate that to other people. So communication is really important. It's not just in the leader's head, but it's written down, there's a plan, and it's communicated so that everyone's on board and everyone understands what the purpose and culture is.
100%. I think it's twofold. I think you have to have sort of a policy or some values that you outline for your company, but then you also have to live those values and show those values to your staff on a daily basis. And maybe now even harder because you're not in the office and you're not face to face with people. I was always in favor of a remote working agreement, so I was used to building a culture not face to face. So for me, it was natural to do that. But I think you've got to do both. You've got to live the values, and you've also got to set some sort of policy or some sort of culture with your staff up front.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, values and beliefs kind of set the stage for the culture. And exactly what you're saying, it's almost like my second point was going to be the leader needs to actually be the person showing what the culture is about. Not just talking about it, but actually living it. Because same kind of thing, a business owner has employees or people working for him, just like a parent has kids. Kids never listen to what you tell them to do, they watch what you do.
100%.
And in the business it's the same thing. And now maybe it's difficult in this remote working environment that you're not able to see each other all the time. So it's difficult to get that culture across.
Yeah.
How do you think you actually communicate culture working virtually?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, we have check-ins on Zoom, and in those check-ins, I try and live out some of those values. So for me, one of the big ones with my staff is transparency. I want them to know where they fit in the business, and I want to be open as much as I can about where the business is going, about our numbers, the finances, so they really understand their role in my business, in our business, because it's not just mine, right? They are integral. I don't even see the customers sometimes anymore. They're the ones interacting with the customers. So for me, the way I interact with them is also a value in itself, because I treat them with respect, they treat our customers with respect. So a lot of those interactions just in a Zoom call come through on how you treat your staff and what you share with them. All those things are super important.
Yeah, so I mean, culture is not just your employees, it's internally how you communicate and how you treat your people, but externally how they communicate them to the customers. So I mean, that's so true. The way you treat your people, they're going to go and treat the customers.
100%. I think everyone said customers number one, and some of us had bosses that didn't really treat us very well as staff members, you know, and I think that is so crucial. The way you treat your staff is exactly how they're going to treat their customers.
So, I mean, what are you watching there?
I'm trying to get more views than Bridget Marshall. She's still beating me. It's just really not fair.
Maybe because you haven't subscribed.
Might have to click that subscribe button. Sorry about that. Busted. Good video, that one.
It's not bad. There's a lot of good elements in there. My third point that I wanted to chat about, there's our old guest, Murray. Our third point that I wanted to talk about was about hiring the right people, but hiring the right people that fit your culture. Because I mean, we played in the same sporting team before, and we've experienced this. You put a bad apple into a team, no matter how good that team is, that one bad apple can ruin the whole team.
Yeah, 100%. And on that, Craig, also the right people sitting on the right seats in the bus, from Jim Collins' book, you mentioned that. Because, you can have different team members, but if they're playing the wrong role, if they're not a leader, it's going to mess up the whole culture in the team. So for me, I haven't got that perfect, I'll be honest. I feel like either I'm developing people in my business or I'm working them out of my business. And unfortunately,
it feels like you've read my article and you speak about my next point all the time.
Maybe, Craig. But from personal experience, I mean, we've all had to remove people from our businesses, and it's not easy, especially as a young entrepreneur. Quite traumatic, maybe the first time you even do it. But you harden up and you realize that one bad apple can actually destroy everything that you're trying to build. So you have to make sure that the group is stronger than that one individual.
Yeah. So you spoke about Jim Collins and the book Good to Great. It's so interesting that what we try to build inside of our company culture at Enriching Life is something called the bus. And it's really about getting the right people on the right seats of the bus. And that's what it's all about. Making sure people are number one and you have the right people actually taking your business forward. So let's carry on talking, let's carry on walking, and carry on talking about company culture. Neighborhood has a really cool creative department where they do media, they've got their own studio, and I think we should go and ask them what their thoughts are on company culture. Just wanted to ask you guys a question about company culture, and if we can get that on camera. You guys are happy with that?
Yeah, sure. In terms of culture, what we really want to emphasize is empowering the young creatives. Empower creativity, empower collaboration, that's the thing, and that's why basically Kaya serves as a hub for a bunch of young creators to come along and have fun and be part of this journey where we can all make and create.
I'm the new intern, so coming from the United States, I obviously didn't know anyone, but they welcomed me in, and they've given me opportunities to shoot people. That sounds really photography terms. Just having a team where we can be honest and open with each other, and I can go up to them, whether it's accountability or admitting mistakes and just critiquing each other's work.
Because we're talking about good company culture, but maybe we should talk a bit about what makes bad company culture. So for me, it's a lot of the time is the water cooler talk, or outside having a cigarette, or in the kitchen behind closed doors where people are bad-mouthing the company or individuals inside of the company. I mean, have you got any experience of creating bad company culture?
Yeah, Craig. We almost had a revolt at the last company I worked for when they took away the staff's hot chocolate. That was just...
hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. You don't take away the people's hot chocolate.
This show is all about coffee, not about hot chocolate. So
well, maybe it's now. If you took away their coffee, there would definitely be a revolt. That's clear.
If we take away the tasting coffee from the show, there's going to be a revolt.
Okay.
And we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So maybe what we should do is carry on this conversation and go taste some coffee outside. just down from Neighbor Good at Nibbly Bits, trying some new coffee, and we even got a little bit of a gift with the coffee, which is always great. That always makes me feel good, and I think that's what's also really important for company culture is how do you actually reinforce the company culture when you see someone in your business, whether it's a client, whether it's an employee doing something good, and you reward them. So you're almost like leading them with the carrot as opposed to whacking them with a stick.
Craig, we know millennials love some recognition. You know, I'm a millennial, you're a millennial. I think some recognition is important, and then also incentives. I think you have to incentivize your staff. I was a terrible employee. If I was not incentivized to kill, I would do nothing. You know, I would take too many sick days. So for me, incentives are absolutely key to align people. And some businesses like yours are really simple in terms of sales. You can align your staff straight to the sales, but other businesses aren't so easy to align in terms of incentives. So I think you have to give some thought to incentives in a company to reinforce the culture.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting thing because a lot of salespeople specifically, they take incentives for granted.
Yeah.
Because like millennials, they're very entitled. Once someone's doing well, they expect things, and they don't realize the actual extra benefits. I mean, this costs money. And I'm not necessarily paying for this. I'm paying for the coffee, and I've got something extra, which costs money, which is an expense, but it makes me want to come back here. And I think, I mean, for the whole point of having a good company culture is to make people sticky, I guess, whether it's employees or clients, that they come back in this future business.
Sure. And something really small to add, but has a huge impact on us,
yeah.
on us as customers.
Yeah, so I mean, I know in your business, we've spoken a bit about training. We do a lot of training in our business. For me, I want to try and develop people as much as possible, and I think that's part of having a person inside the business. You want to develop them to become better and learn more and grow and almost take on the next opportunity and the next responsibility inside of the business. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Craig, so I was one of those people that didn't believe in that because I was such a busy entrepreneur. I had such limited time, business was growing. So if I didn't feel like someone was going to stick around long term, I would put no effort into them. And the problem was, then they were just terrible, right? So what is that quote? Something, what if you don't develop people and they stay? What is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
you tell me. I forgot.
So people often say, what happens if I put all my time, effort, money into developing a person and they leave?
Yes.
But then the counter argument is,
if you
what
don't
happens
develop them and they stay?
You don't develop them and they actually end up staying.
Exactly.
And it's not good for your company.
No, it's really not good at all. And I've taken the thing of now really investing in my staff and developing them. And actually, we've actually got staff that have stuck around for many, many years now. They're major assets to our business, and through that we've got loyalty, we've got a really, really great culture, and we've got a great team. And obviously with COVID now hit, that company culture was really, really tested, and it came up trumps. So really, really glad that I changed from being a person who didn't want to invest in them and actually investing in them. Yeah.
So that's amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, your biggest asset is your people.
100%.
So you need to make sure you're looking after them, whether it's incentives, whether it's training, whatever you can do to reinforce that company culture. See someone doing something good and quickly get onto that, congratulate them, thank them, incentivize them.
And make it fun. I think you got to make it fun. We're all going to work for like 40 years in our life. So if your company culture doesn't have some element of fun in it, you're probably also missing the
Work hard, play hard.
100%, yeah.
Learn, drink coffee, make sure to subscribe. And I don't know, anything else?
No, just enjoy.
Okay, folks, so there we have it. 5 points on company culture. What you need to do to build a high-performing company, a high-performing team, high-performing company culture. That's what you need to do. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to Jack, another successful business owner, some of our guests, some of our employees, some of the people from inside of Enriching Life. And hopefully it's going to offer you value in your business so that you can go forward, drive your company culture so that you can be a high-performing business. Until next week, we're out of here.